Primaries to power. Turbines to speed.
Here, ready to move out.
Before we start, I'd like to say something. There's no reason why you shouldn't have complete confidence in your chances to come out of this thing alive and in one piece.
From coast to coast, from border to border, from one end to the other and all points in between. The Classic Guitar Rock Podcast is on.
Yes! That's awesome!
We crank up and break down the great guitar-driven rock of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And you are invited to come along.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
And now, your host, Jeremy Lunnan.
Yeah, we don't know anything about that fella there. Who is he? Where's he coming from?
It's time for the Classic Guitar Rock Podcast.
All right, we're live. It's official. Rich, how are you, sir?
Hello, Jeremy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. It's the Classic Guitar Rock Podcast, and this is the first podcast full-on podcast in like over a year.
Wow.
I've done some updates. You and I have done some live things, but official podcast episode. This is the first one, and so let me just a little backstory. My one of my best friends. In fact, I just visited JR back in September.
Uh-huh.
So my two best friends from high school, Will and JR, and another friend of mine from high school, Frank McCright. DJ Love is right here in the house. Love. Frank, how are you? Frank, by the way, is a what's the word, Frank? He plays every instrument. Violin,
Whoa.
piano, guitar. He's a DJ. Yeah, no, he's serious. Frank, thanks for being here.
Hey, what's going on, Frank?
Frank, here's my first encounter with Frank. I don't know if you remember this, Frank. Frank's a year, I think you're a year behind me. You graduated in 86. Am I right, Frank? Anyways, our first class together. And Frank plays drums too. That's right. Our first class together, Frank, tell me if you remember this. Computer science. They called it computer science. And we were on these Tandy machines in Mrs. Shea's class. 87. So you're even younger. So my very first memory of Frank, my senior year, I had a pair of pink Converse high tops.
Oh, gee.
The Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
They're like pinkish purple. And Frank was laughing at my shoes.
I would have been too, Frank.
That's the first thing I remember. I had my spiky hair and a pinkish purple Chuck Taylors, and Frank was laughing at me. You remember that, Frank? Yeah, he probably does. So anyways, I'm in September. I'm back visiting. I went for my 40th high school reunion. I saw my best friends, Will and JR. JR, fans of the podcast will remember JR was my co-host for a while. We did a few episodes.
Yeah.
You know, now that we've got the radio station going and Rich and I live, I mean, we're still 20 miles away from each other, but we're in the same general area. It's a lot easier for Rich and I to get together than for JR and I, who's still in Oklahoma. So JR and I are still good friends. I don't want anyone to be worried about that. But where Rich has come on as my partner with the radio station, it just kind of made more sense. And to be honest, I think JR was humoring me. I mean, I do. I think he was like, Jeremy wants me to help, so I will. But it was hard for JR. He's super busy. And so, Rich, you got nothing going on, so
not a doggone thing. Let me put some headphones in real quick.
He's going to put his headphones on. Frank says, I always thought you were cool, though. Well, thank you, Frank. So Frank is down. I think you're still down in Dallas-Fort Worth area, right? Am I right, Frank? And he's a DJ. That's what he does. I mean, he does all kinds of stuff, records stuff, super talented guy. So super cool to see you here, Frank. And by the way, thank you all for commenting. Chris B is here also. Thanks, Chris. Alva Lanker. Did I pronounce that right? Rest in peace, Brent Hines from Mastodon.
Yeah.
That might be in Rich's
motorcycle crash in August. Didn't he?
Whoa. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. Rich is our metal expert, by the way.
Yeah,
so
I'm the metal guys. I'm doing the classic metal vault here tonight.
Tonight. So let's just real quick an update on the radio station. As I mentioned, the radio station is Rich and me, right?
That's it.
It's just the two of us, right? And it's good. You know, we got people that listen, which is great. We get more listeners all the time. So if you haven't checked out the radio station yet, please do it. I think you'd like it. We're playing music, obviously, that if you're a fan of this, you'll like, but some fun stuff. One of my favorite things that Rich does is the Name That Game.
Yeah.
You know, if you know the video games from the 80s, you'll want to check that out.
They have another thing coming. Remember, I got a new one. Name That Movie Clip.
Name that movie clip.
Name that
there's
movie.
all kinds of stuff.
That's coming.
So,
it's evolved pretty in the last year. Pretty big. You know, we've done a lot of different things and a lot of fun stuff going on. So I think it's coming a long way. It's fun to listen to.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and Rich does a lot of great work on it. Also,
thanks.
The T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Rich, show us one of those beautiful T-shirts. You can get a classic Guitar Rock T-shirt from, and Rich makes them. These are made with love in Rich's garage. This is not
new hobby,
not from China. Okay, these are legitimately made in Rich's North Idaho sweat.
Two hands. Silk screen, good ink, great quality, soft shirt. It never fades. I mean, I've watched it a million times and I haven't lost any.
They're great.
Yeah, pretty good.
You know, here's what's cool. You know, Rich, in the process of making these shirts, there were multiple test runs. Various colors. You know, before we got this one, I gave my brother-in-law that, you know, the one that was kind of the faded gold color.
Yes.
I gave him one of those collector's item. And then I've got one that I brought over. I'm at my Montana place. This is not my normal house. That's why I'm in this funky room upstairs here. So over in Montana, but I brought the remember the versions you made with the white logos and the QR code on the back.
Yes, yeah. I actually found a whole bunch of those.
Nice. Okay. So anyways, where am I going with all this? It's a plug. It's an invitation for folks to check out the station. Not only the station, but hey, buy a t-shirt. $13 right now. $13.
And they ship internationally too. If there's any international people out there, just change the order thing so you can. Well, you may have to pay a little bit more for shipping, but it is international. So Canada out there, Mexico. I know Live 365 just added those in there. So, well, actually, Mexico just came in for Live 365. So, but they're open. Yeah, they're $13, and we got a good inventory still. So please go check them out. Pretty cool. Yeah,
it's awesome. And by the way, if you go to our website, classicguitarrock.net. Remember, it used to be .com. Now it's .net because Jeremy didn't pay the bill, right? So it's now classicguitarrock.net. You can go there. You can find the link to the radio station, to the podcast, and it's got its own little link right at the top for the t-shirt. Click on that and you can buy the t-shirt. So anyways.
Rebel against the man.
That's right. So that's our plug for the radio station. So if you haven't listened to us yet, please do so. Check that out. Yeah. We're going to get in. We got a lot to talk about. It's been so long, a lot of news, and please chime in the comment section as you all are doing. That's great. We try and respond real time to those as much as we can. So I'm going to jump in. I got a few news items, and Rich, you can jump in.
Yeah, definitely.
And then news items. And we intentionally don't talk to each other beforehand because we don't want to know what the other guy thinks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. The big one. You got to go with the big one, Jeremy.
The big one, which this came beginning of the week, right?
Yep.
Rush.
Monday. I think it was Monday.
I think it was Monday. The announcement that Geddy and Alex will go on tour. Started out with only 12 dates, but I think they've like doubled that. I think they've added
but they're not coming close to us, man.
Not yet. No, but you know what? I think they'll add more dates. There'll probably be some Pacific Northwest dates for us. We're in Washington State and North Idaho. Were they down in the Dallas area? Rich, were they around Texas?
Yeah, I think they actually were. I think
so. Frank, you might be able to.
Yeah, there were like 2 dates every city. Like they play. One city had 3 dates. I think it was.
Yeah.
Fort Worth. Yep.
Yeah. So Frank is in Fort Worth. He's in the Metroplex there. So, hey, Frank, we'll expect a report.
Update. I want to hear about.
We'll expect an update if you go there, especially as a drummer and a multi-instrumentalist. Yeah. Frank, they're adding more musicians. You should send them your resume, dude.
Yeah.
You should. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. And I'm serious. Frank could probably do it. He probably could, man.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I listened to that Anika Niles. The new drummer of this, and she's really good. I watched some of her YouTube videos. I was like, whoa. I was watching her foot do the double bass, but she was kicking it twice. Yeah, like, I don't know. Frank could probably do that, but
here's the thing. Okay. She toured with Jeff Beck. And any of you know that anything about Jeff Beck? 2 things. Jeff Beck, for the last 20 years, he has spotlighted some brilliant female artist. Tal, is it Wakenfield, the bassist?
Heel toe.
He's had several bass players that were female. Guitar player Jennifer Batten, guitarist Jennifer Batten. You guys might remember her. She was in Michael Jackson's band and played.
Oh yeah,
Cat and all the riffage.
Well, no, wasn't that the girl from Alice Cooper?
Orianthi?
No, the one from Michael Jackson. You're talking
about. Well, she was too. Nita Strauss.
Yeah.
So I think she might have played with Michael Jackson too. I'm not sure.
That's what. When you say female playing a ripping guitar, that's the one that pops out to me because she was shredding in that "This Is It" movie, and she was just shredding it. And
that's
right. I saw her live with Alice Cooper, and man, she ripped it up. She was really good. Jeff Beck has had lots of great players in general and a lot of female players. Well, Geddy said that his bass tech had worked the Jeff Beck tour, and so he knew Annika and recommended her. And so this has been in the works for a while. They just haven't talked about it because they've already gotten together and practiced and played. And I think Alex said they have like 35 songs already worked up. Wow.
I think that's what I heard him say.
Yeah. I talked to my brother-in-law already. I said, dude, are you going? Because him and Rush are like peas and carrots. His last big tour with them was Clockwork Angels. Yeah. And that was the last big tour with them. Oh, no, sorry. The 50-year one, the Time Machine tour. Sorry.
Time Machine.
That was the last big one. That's the one I saw, went backstage, did the whole thing. It was so awesome. But I called him. I was like, dude, are you on this tour? What's going on? He's like, no, because I guess Geddy Lee's brother now manages the tour. And there's a lot of politics with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So they won't call him anymore because they have a new favorite, I guess, for the lighting. So
so Rich is this is your brother-in-law, right?
Yeah, he's a lighting director.
Brother-in-law was a lighting director and has done tours with Rush, Scorpions,
Megadeth, everybody,
all kinds of people.
We went. What's that girl with the AI song? She's real popular. Not Taylor Swift. The other one. Come on, man. You know her. Katy Perry. Katy Perry. Oh, went backstage to Katy Perry too, and got to go under their little tunnel and got shot out.
You did? You got to do this? Sweet. Yeah. And tell us about the memorabilia you have from Neil Peart.
Oh yeah. So when my brother-in-law came home. He's like, you gotta come over. I got something for you. I was like, all right, sounds good. So we go down there, and he's like, hey, here you go. He busts out pieces, like sawn off pieces, because Neil Peart wanted his custom. So yes, they sure did, Frank. That's the one. Yep, exactly. But anywho, he gives me pieces of the drum set that he cut off, plus his drumsticks, plus he gave me a signed snare drum that he used. All three of them, three of the band members signed it. Said "Too Rich," da da da. I was like, man, that was so cool. But when we went and saw them, that was the bomb. I mean, we were on their tour bus chilling. It was really cool. Now we didn't get to meet them because they're very personal, as you probably know. Everybody knows. Rush runs from the stage to their tour bus. They do not interact.
Especially Neil. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Neil Peart. No, we didn't meet anybody. But funny story, we went and saw him in Auburn over there, and my brother-in-law was like, hey, come on, I got to show you. And he brings us out on stage. And if you've been to Auburn, it's the big open air amphitheater. Yeah. And we go up stage, and the whole crowd's out there already. I didn't know. The whole crowd starts cheering, and me and my wife and my brother-in-law were like, no, we're like that buzzard off of Bugs Bunny. Oh, no. And he lifts up Neil Peart's drum set, and we're looking. I'm sitting there in shock and awe. I'm just like,
that's awesome.
Behind Neil Peart's drum set, and the crowd's out there, and I'm like in seventh heaven, because I'm a fan, such a fan, Anywho, it was really cool. That was a cool night.
That is awesome. So, okay, now here's the question. I've seen some debate about this. I just remembered I can show the comments on screen. So Frank, I just shared your comment. Sorry for the rest of you that we haven't put your comment up on the screen, but we will. I think for the most part, here's where I'm going to ask you, Rich, what you think. I think for the most part, Rush fans are excited. I mean, I think they view it as a good thing, but I have seen a few people, the poopy pants out there. And sorry, Rich, if you're a poopy pants, I don't mean
I'm not a poopy pants. Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, that's the way I am. But I have seen some people say, this is just a money grab. It's not Rush without Neil. So,
of course, it's not Rush without Neil. I mean, but it's something else. It's Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the world we live in, Jeremy. It's just the world we live in. There are a lot of poopy pantses out there, and they're looking for something to poop in, besides pants. And that's the deal. So it was Rush before Neil. So Frank got it right on the nose. Yeah. But okay, so if you're poopy pantses out there, don't sweat it. Get rid of the attitude. I mean, the new drummer, or the old new drummer, female Anika, she's great. Well, go watch her videos on YouTube, and she knows she has big shoes to fill. She is very humbled by this. I've seen an interview about it, and she's very humbled about it. So I'm looking forward to it, Jeremy. I'm excited about it.
I am too. And and guys, Rush is probably my favorite band. So I want to start by saying that they're probably my favorite band. But I'm conflicted about Rush because I got to be honest, I haven't really dug anything they've done like from the 90s on. I mean, Presto, which I think was 89 or 90, that was a pretty solid album, but like Roll the Bones, and I just not a big fan.
Yeah.
Not a big fan. Yeah. But here's the thing. Is it fair to expect Alex and Neil to just not play music anymore or Alex and Geddy to not play music just because Neil died? I don't think that's fair.
You're right. I mean, they have a lot of fans that want to hear them still. And if they can still go out and play, by all means, go for it. We're all excited. It's going to be, look, Frank's all in. Everybody's all in, It's Rush, for Christ's sake.
And here's the thing, I think that, and I'm making assumptions here. I think it's probably non-musicians that maybe have this thought.
Yeah, probably.
That they almost think that, and don't get me wrong, I love Neil. Neil is awesome, my favorite drummer, but they almost hold him to this godlike status.
You're right.
Playing.
You're right.
Like they don't think anyone else can play Neil's stuff. Guess what? Yeah. There's a ton of guys that could play Neil's
100%. Someone in a basement
Portnoy could do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The guy from Tool could do it. I mean,
you just named the two drummers. I was about to say
Frank could probably do it. Frank, you could probably play Neil's parts. But so I get it. It's out of respect and reverence for Neil. So I understand that. My biggest concern, this is going to sound bad. I hate because I love Rush. My biggest concern. Hang on here. Marlon. Yeah, I've been gone for a while here. Let me put up Marco Miniman. Miniman, is that how you say his name? Mangini, the guy that replaced Portnoy for a while in Dream Theater. Yeah. Totally. Those guys could totally play Neil's parts.
I bet there's some dude that's 17, 18, been playing drums for 10 years down in the basement somewhere that's probably doing a great job.
So there is no shortage of musicians that could play Neil's parts.
Yep.
Now, to me, what made Neil really special, his drumming obviously was awesome. Frank says he's the reason he started playing drums, and I'm sure lots of drummers say that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But for me, it was his lyrics. It was his writing to me. So yeah, I think that's the irreplaceable part to me. But if they're going on tour playing classic Rush tunes, that's really not a problem. I don't think they're going to be playing new music on this tour.
Right. No, this is like the Time Machine tour kind of, I think. That's same set list kind of. I mean, hopefully they do play Moving Pictures in the middle just like they did, because that was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And then they go back and they play all their hits before and after too. So you're like, wow, what a set list, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that I would guess probably 85% of Rush fans are super excited about this, as they should be. I think it'll be awesome. But here's the thing I'm really worried about. I hate to say it. Geddy's voice is gone.
Oh, yeah.
He can't do, I mean, even on the clips I've seen from Time Machine, he can't sing. He can't sing 70% of the stuff.
I got you. I was backstage. I heard the real voice and the bass playing. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. But he's still better than a few of them that are out there right now.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I can name two right off the bat.
I'm
Neil
sure.
is one last name, and Rose is another last name.
Totally.
Those guys need to hang it up. Period. Yeah. And they're still touring, and people are.
You're right. You're right.
Out.
I think now I haven't said this, and I think it's a smart move. I mean, Geddy and Alex, they're in their 70s, right? And so Geddy even said, "I want to be able to." I want to be able to focus more on playing the bass, right? So they're talking about they're going to bring in a keyboard player. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring someone in to help sing some of the stuff.
Yeah, because, I don't know.
Be a good idea. I don't know.
He kind of gets off on that keyboard, man. He loves playing. Once he throws his bass behind him and starts playing the keyboard, he gets into that stuff. And I was watching. I'm like, wow. But hey, Marlon, do you think they're going to play anything newer than Signals?
I bet a little bit, but I bet not much. I bet not much. Nah. I hope, of course we all have my favorite era is the bathrobe era. Frank Hold Your Fire is a great album. But for me, it's 2112 through Moving Pictures, right? That's my Rush wheelhouse. That's the best run of 5 albums, I think, ever.
Usually Time Stand Still stays in there.
That'll be there.
There's a few there. I think they're going to play their bigger hits.
Yeah.
Distant Early Warning, maybe.
That'll probably be there. Yeah.
Those are the two that stand out that I know they'll probably play their encores.
They're going to do a tribute to Neil in every show.
Oh, yes.
And I'm envisioning Frank, what's the name of the song? Suddenly You Were Gone. Da-na-na-na. Is that After Image? Is that what that's called? It's on Grace Under Pressure. To me, I'm like, that's the perfect song to play. Play that, they play that song live and they show the slideshow of Neil or whatever.
Just like Ozzy was doing with Randy Rhoads.
Totally. Same thing. Yeah. After Image. Frank says it is After Image. I think that would be a great tune they could play live.
Yeah.
Do the Neil Peart thing. And I'm looking forward to it. Not that it's going to get close enough for you and I to go, but maybe it will.
You know what? I'm going to keep my fingers crossed because, a lot of shows are coming to Spokane nowadays. And surprising shows. You're like, whoa, they're coming to Spokane? Okay. Let me buy tickets. Even if they're in Seattle or in Auburn, we may want to consider,
So I would totally go to Auburn. Auburn is like near Seattle for those that aren't. That's the White River Amphitheater.
The Gorge. They may come to the Gorge. That one's kind of a crappy venue, real crappy venue. I'd rather
really
go to
is,
Auburn.
Actually.
Yeah, it sucks.
So let's talk. Let's
do our news, man.
I would totally do a trip, Rich, a Jeremy and Rich road trip. That'd be awesome.
And where I'm in, I'm in. So we'll do it.
Perfect. Okay, and then the other news item I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of I don't know. You'll see how it kind of ties together. Neil Sean, who is a follower of the Classic Guitar Rock podcast, which is great. We love Neil. He announced either yesterday or today that Jonathan Cain is leaving Journey. Now, of course, Jonathan Cain, he wrote Open Arms. He wrote Faithfully. I'm not saying that he's the main reason, but most of their biggest hits were written by Jonathan Cain. Now, obviously, everyone contributes. You got Steve Perry, you got Neil, but Jonathan Cain, a pretty big part of the massively successful commercial version of Journey.
Yeah.
And there has been some public spats over the last 5 or 6 years.
What I was about to say is Journey has been in turmoil for the last 20 years, really.
Totally.
Really since he left, since the big man left, and they got the new singer, and that was cool for the honeymoon phase, the first tour. And then after that, again, even when we saw him, it just wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun show. They looked like they were just doing the rounds,
When's the last time you saw them, Rich?
Just when they came here in 2020 on the Freedom Tour. They just came.
Okay. Because I saw them before. I saw them in 2016. So that was when I saw them.
I don't remember what year it was. 2023, 2022.
I think 22 was when the Freedom one came out. But now the show in 2016, I thought it was really good. Right. Yeah. It was a great show. They still had Ross Valerie at that time. Steve Smith, the original drummer, was on that tour. So it was all original or legacy members other than Arnell. And Arnell did a great job. Right. Yeah. But since then, a lot of people
going through the motions.
Yeah. There have been lawsuits. They've been suing each other. And it's just
crazy, man.
Yeah. However, then Neil comes back with a clarification that says, Jonathan's not leaving till like the end of 26 or 27. We're like, oh, so
they're retiring.
So they'll still do a tour, and it'll be good. But then you get the poopy pants people that come along and say it's not Journey without Steve Perry, and I'm like, dude, I don't agree with this notion that all these musicians in a band are supposed to just sit on ice when a member leaves. I don't think that's fair.
I kind of get excited when there's somebody new.
I do too.
Get this. This got me excited. See if it gets anyone else excited out there. Who would be a great front man for Motley Crue? Because we all know Vince Neil is just in bad health. He hasn't been able to sing for 10 years. But there's one person who took one song and did it, and it went viral. But I think Sebastian Bach.
Oh
man, I would go to Motley Crue to see him sing their old songs because he has the voice now still that could handle.
Okay, so this is what's interesting. another Skid Row connection. Well, one of the last lead singers that Skid Row had was this Eric Gronwall guy.
Okay.
Who's been touring with Michael Schenker group.
Oh, okay.
And this guy, he's incredible, because I was thinking he could do it too.
Probably.
So yeah. But have you noticed how much better Vince looks now, though?
Yes. After his stroke,
yeah,
he lost a little bit of weight. They probably put him on a mandatory diet and all that, but he had a stroke, man.
Yeah.
Did you see him? Did you see that video that was viral that he looked like he was about to fall off the stage?
No, I didn't. I heard about it, but I never actually.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, get off the stage, Comes to a point where you're like worried instead of having fun. You're worried about him,
Yeah. So Journey, it looks like in about a year, Jonathan Cain will be leaving. Jonathan has the last few years has really focused. He's really into his ministry, his Christian music, right? So he's just kind of going in a different direction. It doesn't sound like Neil is mad that there's bad feelings about this, right? But then the whole thing comes up with, well, how can Neil still call it Journey? Well, he can legally. He's an original member, and he legally owns the name, so he totally can call it Journey. Totally. Now, I'm like, if people are willing to buy the tickets and they know that Neil's the only original, then who am I to say you shouldn't be doing it?
Yeah, that dude is going to tour until he's in the grave.
Totally, and he's still
touring Journey until he even said, "Thanks to everybody that's been in Journey." When I saw him, I love everybody that's ever been in Journey, which is
a lot of dudes,
like
20 people. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but Neil's still a great player. That's what they do. And I meant to mention this when I was talking about Rush. I've seen interview pieces with both Alex and Getty where they talk about Paul McCartney when they were at the Taylor Hawkins tribute show.
I read that.
Paul told them both, no, you guys need to be touring. You got to be touring.
Yep.
And they, that really, Marlon.
Yeah. You said, dude, Schenker. Isn't Marlon your Schenker dude?
You hurt my heart.
Isn't that your dude?
Dude, Marlon and I are both. Marlon changed his avatar because remember his avatar used to be the cover of Assault Attack, my favorite Schenker album. Yep, now it's the Buckethead, icon. So I have not heard the whole new album.
We're playing it on CGR. We're playing.
I know.
Songs.
I know. I didn't want to steal your thunder because I knew there was an update coming up about Schenker. But
yeah, that's all good.
Here's the thing. I've talked about this a jillion times, Marlon. You probably agree with me. Schenker changes band members like he changes underwear, dude. He has never had. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, maybe his first two albums had the same lead singer on both albums. I know he changed drummers because I think Ted McKenna came in. No, maybe Cozy's on the first two. Anyways, my point is Schenker is a revolving door, not just lead singers, but it's especially problematic when it is lead singers. When you have an album with 3 different lead singers, you have no identity. You have zero identity. If Schenker would find a lead singer and stick with him, Ronnie Ramirez was that his name? Ronnie Ramirez? I think so.
That's your guys.
Or Ronnie Romero. Ronnie Romero was great. He should have stuck with him. He didn't. Eric Gronwall is great. Why don't you stick with him? He doesn't. He gets someone else. So he's continually changing lead singers. And unless they're guitar nerds, his guitar playing is not going to grab an audience.
He's been plugging this album for a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was like on Sirius XM and he was doing interviews about this album a while ago. And when it was out in October, I was kind of like, whoa, okay. So I thought he was talking about, and I got confused with Macaulay Schenker, but Macaulay's new album came out and that's a good album. That's not bad.
It is a good album.
That's cool. Yeah. It's actually rocking. But the Michael when MSG came out with the new album, I'm like, oh man, this is the new album. So that's immediately hit you up. Like, like 4 new songs. Did you know?
His last album, My Years with UFO, he's just redoing old UFO stuff, which is cool. But now this new album, what's the new album called? Marlon can tell us. What's the new album
Don't
called?
Sell Your Soul.
Don't Sell Your Soul. That's
Don't
right.
Sell Your Soul.
And this Michael Voss guy that I agree with you, Marlon. Michael Voss has kind of diluted. He's a pop. I don't like his singing, and he's been writing the songs. And so I tend to agree with you on that.
Like I said, I'm not the biggest Schenker fan. You know that already, but I've heard their song. I know the difference. But every song I hear from is different. Every song I hear from is different.
And,
so.
and to Marlon's point, those are the drummers on his first three different drummers, right? On his first 3 albums. 2 different lead singers. He had Gary Barden on the first 2, then Graham Bonnet, my all-time favorite singer, and then on Built to Destroy, it's Gary Barden again. So again, changing, it's just crazy.
It's the curse of the guitar playing name, the guitar player's name in the band. Look at Yngwie.
You're right. That's a good point.
Curse. You can't if you put the guitarist as your name of your band.
Yeah.
Because everyone always is looking at the lead singer.
Totally.
I mean, it's just I'm not being biased, but
you're right. Think of this, man. And he's kind of a controversial figure, but I love him as a guitar player. Ted Nugent, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Those first Ted Nugent albums, people would hear these Ted Nugent albums, and Derek St. Holmes was the guy singing all the tunes, and he's a killer guitar player too. To your point, Rich, he might have done better to name the band instead of, and he had a revolving set of singers. Ted would occasionally sing a tune, but he's not a great singer, right? Yngwie's a terrible singer. He should never sing.
No.
So, but I think you might be onto something, right?
Yeah.
If the band is named after the guitar player, it's probably,
I mean, I remember just thinking that. I'm just thinking how I used to think back in, the 80s when Yngwie was huge. I'm like, I'm listening to him and nothing's grabbing me. I love his guitar playing. He is amazing. I mean, he's amazing. There's no doubting that, but nothing's grabbing me. One song maybe out of 20 grabbed me. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's a cool song, but it's meh.
And then, if you change singers every album, then you're just never gonna. People are never going to identify. Well, you won't have an identity, right?
That's kind of the day and age of nowadays. Is there's no real band atmosphere. No new bands don't have that. Like Rush, you're touring Metallica. They're touring 50 years, 60 years, whatever. They just keep on going with the original members. Well, maybe 1 or 2 due to illness.
Things happen, right? Yeah, for sure.
But bottom line, go ahead.
I was just going to say one last little item, then I'm going to turn it over to you because you have some metal news. This is just from the health category, and this is every episode we have, Rich, has turned into a health update because so many bands, right? We should get like Metamucil as a sponsor.
I know, right?
Yeah. So many bands, they're getting old, right? And when you get old, you start to fall apart. So Ace Frehley just canceled the rest of his tour due to health. Rob Halford just canceled like the 3rd show he's had to cancel.
Yep.
And that's just that's to borrow your phrase. That's the world we live in.
It is.
And so when we're talking about these aging classic rock icons, that's just part of the program now. And again, to get back to this whole debate about, well, should you call yourself, Rush if you don't have, or should you call yourself Foreigner? Well, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole
Foreigner doesn't have any original members anymore, and they're still touring as Foreigner.
They're good. They're fun to watch too.
They are fun to watch, and it sounds great. But now, when you're talking 0 original members, I kind of get the point of people that are like, should you really be calling him? So, the thing with Foreigner, though, is Mick Jones, who owns Foreigner, he's still pushing it, even though he's not playing in the band. It's still his band.
They're coming to Spokane, I think, aren't they? Yeah.
I saw him. Me and my son went and saw him last year. Maybe it's been 2 summers ago now. It was awesome. I mean, it was a great show.
Fun. Oh,
It
no,
was
that's right.
fun.
You saw them. That's right.
I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's Foreigner. You
So-
sing their songs and have fun.
Rich and I forgot to tell you this. You and I are going to see Jeff Tate on
Jeff
the
Tate.
21st.
Mind crime tour.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And Marlon, I did, by the way. Jeremy, you get that Buckethead playlist. You did, but I got to be honest, I haven't listened to it. I've watched
Marlon,
a lot of
he's on it.
Buckethead videos. He's incredible. He's unbelievable. But thank you for saying that. But I'm going to go back and find it and I'll listen to it. But what was I saying? Oh, so we're going to see Jeff Tate on the 21st.
Yes,
The night before that is Cheap Trick.
I know. Are you going?
Adam, my son, wants to go. But, I should have bought tickets like the first day.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was like waiting for you to say, let's go to Cheap Trick, dude. And I was like, okay, well, I was just waiting for you.
I've seen him like 12 times.
Yeah, I've never seen Cheap Trick.
And I like them. I mean, they're still great. They're still a great live band. I'm just like, I don't know. Again,
They look dangerously dangerous on stage. Like,
yeah,
it's not fun to watch them anymore because you might trip and fall and hurt themselves.
Maybe so. but Robin Zander, he's one of the old guys.
Yeah.
He's probably still not 90%. He and Sammy Hagar both still do a pretty good
Sammy
job.
Hagar's a weirdo, man. But anyway.
Yeah.
I have news about him.
Here's the thing, Rich. And it's because I'm old. Now, if I was 20 years old, I'd totally do concerts 2 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row, 4 nights in a row. But I'm like, I can't do concerts 2 nights in a row. You did it with Metallica. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was a weekend. I had to, man. But no, I had tickets back in the day for who was it? It was Metallica, and then 2 nights later, it was Slayer up in Seattle. So this was way back when I was in the Army, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. But yeah, I didn't go to Slayer. I was beat up from Metallica. And I was like, man, I ain't going to Slayer. No, I sold my tickets on StubHub or something.
I can't do 2 nights in a row. So I'm probably not going to do Cheap Trick. I
that
feel
was 10
bad.
years ago. That was like in my early 40s, what I'm saying? Mid
40s. So speaking of Foreigner, I'll just throw this out. Lou Gramm is finally planning to retire. I didn't know he hadn't retired, to be honest. So that was news to me. But I'm going to throw it over to you.
All right.
Because you've got some metal update.
I do. So as you guys know, I am the host of the Classic Metal Vault, which is on tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, if you want to tune in. New format, a lot different, less jabbing, more music, more rocking out. It's been very good. So come check it out. And it's also on tomorrow at 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific. So, hey, there's your times. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Anywho, a lot of metal news going on. I'll save the last piece, the set list piece for last, so we can talk about it. All right.
Cool. Perfect.
But so a couple metal news for you. Sammy Hagar, speaking of Sammy Hagar, and he was on tour with the Best of Both Worlds band with Joe Satriani and all those cats. They're actually releasing their Vegas residency tour live for Friday, October 10th, I think it was. So it's out. So if you want to check it out,
this
go
is
check
like
it out.
a live
version of what they played at the Vegas residency. So that should be interesting. Cool. He is a weirdo, though. I'm not going to take that.
Why do you say what is weird about him to you?
He's just a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
When he talked about like Eddie coming to him in a dream and all of that.
Yeah, well, not even just that. Even when he was on stage at that Ozzy performance, he kept looking at Tom Morello and be like, "Hey, it's Tom Morello." Like, "Hey, Tom." And Tom's like looking at him like, "Dude, will you get out there and just sing? What are you doing?" And then he forgets the words to "Flying High" again. I don't even know how you're going to do that. You must be, but he was just on some Cabo Wabo. Who knows? I don't know, but he's just always been kind of a wackadoodle, Yeah. But anywho, his new album, I will be checking that out. I forgot it was out today, but I will be checking that out. It should be pretty good. Another new release today. So if you're a metalhead, Testament, part of the big 8 of thrash. They came out with a new album called Parabellum. I've heard it. It is a face melting, heavy assault on your brain. Your bones will get rattled on this one. It's so good though. Really, they actually came out with another thrash ballad, and they haven't had a thrash ballad. Well, they've tried, but since Return to Serenity back in the early 90s, mid 90s. But this
and that's Alex Skolnick, right? Is he in Testament?
Used to be.
Oh, but he's not in.
There's only 2 original members in Testament. But
and they're not Testament, Rich. That's not Testament.
They sound like Testament to me, except the only downfall. So I'm an old school thrash metaler. All right, I'm old school where the bass, the fast beat for thrash metal is the speed beat. Now they got this double bass player that does that double kick that he was talking about earlier on both of them. So it's like, it's just so intense. The first song is like, my wife was even like, ew, what is this? I'm like, it's like the new metal, but it's cool. Anywho, really good album. Check it out. They have Shadow People is my recommendation. If you want to hear just one song, listen to Shadow People. Awesome song. Cruncher. You'll love it. Let's talk Megadeth. All right.
Okay.
So Megadeth has announced they're going to retire. All right. Their next album, which should be dropping in January at some point, January 2026. This is their last album. Now, here's my deal. Will it be their last album? We have a lot of people that retire. Let's look at the Crew. Let's look at Slayer. Let's look at all these bands that say, we're done, final Kiss. I'm waiting for Kiss to come back. They did their final tour, but Motley Crue said they even signed a contract where they said they weren't coming back. And all of a sudden they're on this arena tour. What is going on? They did their final tour. Everyone's kind of saying, is Megadeth going to come back and do some shows? I figure after 3 years after the album's released, he'll probably come back and do more. I can see Dave Mustaine. He's kind of a money hungry dude. I can see that, him coming back. But their new album's coming out in January. Their new song is out right now called Tipping Point. It is incredible. It's one of the best Megadeth songs I've heard in years. So check it out, guys. He said this is the album that it's been leading up to. So this album should be really good. I'm not a huge Mustaine fan attitude wise, but I'm a huge Megadeth fan. I like their music. I like all that stuff. So check that out. It's coming out in January. And we'll see if he retires. Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth, their album just came out. The End. It's been released. So I
love that song we're playing, by the way.
It's really good. I know. So I'm going to check that out, and I'll probably throw a couple new ones on our New Music That Doesn't Suck segment on our channel. But so their new album came out, so check that one out. Now let's talk about Priest. All right. So Priest is on tour, if you didn't know, and they're celebrating their Painkiller. They're celebrating Painkiller. Right.
Painkiller.
We heard him play that live too.
And he nailed it.
Dude. Nailed it, did he not? So me and Jeremy went and saw them in October of last year.
A year ago. It's like exactly
a year ago. That's right. It was 6. Yeah, a few days ago would have been a year. So So Priest. Oh man, that's been a year already. Wow. Anyhow, their new set list came out. So what they're playing, right? It's on point. It is on point.
Okay, let's hit me with it.
All Guns Blazing. This is all Painkiller now. All Guns Blazing, Hell Patrol. And then they go into, you got another thing coming, Freewheel Burning. Oh, yeah. Now, I wish they would have played that when we saw them.
Yeah.
But, Breaking the Law, of course. A Touch of Evil. Another song I wish they would have played live. I love that song. Nightcrawler, of course, from Painkiller. Mm-hmm. Then they go back to an album I'm kind of listening to for when we start reviewing albums, but Solar Angels.
Holy cow! Yes, yeah. And they do that. That's on the set list. Solar Angels
now. Solar Angels, so awesome. Isn't that awesome? I know. That's what I figured you were going to smile on that one. Then they go into the Gates of Hell, which is off their Invincible Shield album. Really good song. Electric Eye. And then they play another B track off of Invincible Shield called Giants in the Sky.
That's a great tune, by the way.
It is, isn't it? And that's dedicated to musicians we've lost. So they dedicate it to all the musicians, I guess. Painkiller, Hellbent for Leather, Living After Midnight. So that's their new set list.
So
that's pretty solid.
So that's a great set list. And every show I've watched on YouTube, and when we saw them for like the last 50, every time you watch, they start with Hellion and Electric Eye. That's their open. but they're playing Electric Eye later in the set. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Is this the actual order? Or
that's the order? No, it says the Hellion and then Electric Eye. Gates of Hell. It's right after the Gates of Hell. Did I say the Hellion?
No, yeah, but it's they're starting with what's the very first song in the set list?
Oh yeah, first song is All Guns Blazing.
Yeah. Where normally they start with the Hellion and Electric Eye. That's awesome.
I think that's just because of their celebration of the anniversary of Painkiller. So, so what is it? 30-year anniversary, I think it is. 30 years, 90.
They're not playing Rich's favorite tune, Turbo Lover. I noticed.
No. No, I didn't say I love it that much. Now I know. I like the whole album, guys. I like Turbo. I do. It's a good album. So it has great songs on it.
But yeah, and I told Rich one of my favorite albums is Point of Entry, which a lot of people do not like Point of Entry. But that's why I'm that's the only tune they're doing from Point of Entry is Solar Angels. They're not doing Heading Out to the Highway,
I know, which
or
they did
Desert Plains.
Yeah, 2 tours ago they played Heading Out to the Highway and Desert Plains in their set list. It was it was a jack set list. You may have liked it, but it was kind of a jack set list like the 2 tours ago on Firepower. It was
interesting because I love Desert Plains, but a lot of people think it's too wimpy.
Solar Angels is a great song too.
Solar Angels is really cool.
Hot Rockin'
is a great tune.
Great tune. Now there are some funky ones that kind of sound like Tom Petty slash Cheap Trick.
I mean, there's some that are kind of.
But if you think about it, it is now. Back in the day, it was probably very disappointing because you got British Steel, the big metal movement, and then you got Point of Entry, but then you have Screaming for Vengeance. So Point of Entry kind of has a little bit of both, if you think about it.
Yeah,
and they have some that could definitely be on British Steel, and they have some that would definitely fit down lower in the set of Screaming for Vengeance. You know,
I think about it this way, right? To me, classic Priest ended with British Steel.
Mm-hmm.
What I call the modern Priest started with Screaming for Vengeance, and then you got this one little album in the middle.
They kind of transition.
Kind of the transit. That's the way I think about it.
You're totally right. I mean, there's some songs that like sound like Grinder, and I can't remember the names of it right offhand, but just and the but they have a song on there that sounds that too. It's like I can see the cross of where British Steel, where they could have been, but then the chorus and the hooks that they're trying for Screaming Revenge is where they got it, like Fever and all that. Those hooks, you can hear them trying in those hooks and later in the album.
And that's a very good point, because the criticism of Point of Entry is even the members of the band, like KK Downing, trashes that album.
Does he?
And I'm like, dude, I mean, Fever is about as poppy a song as they ever made.
You ain't lying.
It's a super corny pop song. And I'm not saying
Ride
I don't
on
like
the Wind too. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Ride on the Wind but it has that poppy chorus,
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit more metal. He's screaming.
Riding on the Wind is pretty metal, though. I mean, it
is kind of metal. No,
but Fever,
it's
pretty pop cheese. But I'm not ashamed to like poppy stuff. I mean, so I don't know. It doesn't really.
I still think that hook is kind of poppy and Riding on the Wind.
And Riding Like the Wind.
Mm-hmm. Cause I'm burning, riding like the wind.
Yeah, probably.
It's a hook. It's great. It's a great song. I love that song. But I'm just saying that, it has a little pop feel to it. Fever, definitely. But that's a great song.
Yeah. Take These Chains, which is a great tune. Pretty poppy too, but
you're right. Yep.
Marlon says, is there still another metal singer?
Marlon hit it on the head. Yeah. Dude, me and Jeremy's mouth were on the ground when we saw them. I mean, he was hitting those. Yeah, he was looking at the lyrics because he's old. But dude, he hit Painkiller. You wouldn't even believe it. He was like,
he does it.
And I was like, I stopped and was just watching him going, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So I agree with Marlon. I agree.
And when you watch the old guys, whether it's Halford or Sammy Hagar or
One
Robin
more.
Zander.
There's one old guy you should really not count out. There, he's always under the radar. Klaus Meine.
Klaus.
Really? Scorpions.
Really?
Dude, yes.
Because the last things I've seen on, he hits the notes. He hits the notes.
What did I see him? Rock
Don't get me wrong.
Believer, man, he sounded good.
He sounds really, I don't mean this to sound disrespectful. He sounds like he's ill. He sounds like he has no energy. He hits the notes. Don't get me wrong. Time, baby, time to win big. I mean, he hits the notes, but it's the energies.
When we saw him here in Spokane, dude,
It's
one of my favorite shows I've seen of them. It was so good. And he was running. Well, he wasn't running. He was trying to run, but he was like old man run, hobble, walk, walking down the stage. And then when he holds out, he's doing the little, dude, 75 years old, and he's still got like F life on his shoe. You're like, what the heck?
Well, and here's the thing, right? Singers have it the hardest, right? Because you can be a 75-year-old dude and still play the guitar pretty dang good. It's not like your voice, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of sucks to be a lead singer and get old. And some guys have managed it better than others, but none of them are what they were when they were 30 years old. Let's be honest.
Of course not. I just can't keep remembering that comment of Axl Rose when he performed at the Ozzy show.
Mm-hmm.
That he sounded like the gingerbread man from Shrek. That's such a fun. I was dying, and it was true. He was.
That's funny.
It was bad. It was bad.
Funny.
But that's all the metal news I got. Really, that's all those new albums and stuff.
I've got a question for you before we go. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you mentioned our new music that doesn't suck. So what that is, Marlon. Steve Walsh was a great singer. Mm-hmm. Awesome singer, but he had some substance abuse things that kind of, messed him too. Yeah.
Another one that I just thought of, John Fogerty. You heard his new album, the way he did Credence, the whole new.
Yeah. So let's. Here's what I was going to ask.
Question. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to just share with us at once an hour, guys, on the radio station. We play. There's a category called new music that doesn't suck, right? And so the idea is that once an hour, you're going to hear a tune from either a classic band, or it might be a newer band, but they play that vein of music. It's mostly classic artists. Like you mentioned Robin McCauley. So Robin McCauley, and it's a good album, man. There's good stuff. Is. We're playing stuff from Robin McCauley. We got newer stuff from Billy Idol.
Yep.
Bryan Adams. There's a Bryan Adams tune.
There's Bryan Adams. There's Ozzy. There's LA Guns. We're doing some Mammoth songs.
The LA Guns stuff is pretty. That Triumph is a tribute album.
Yeah, it's a tribute album. I had to put it on there because
it's a tribute album. I heard the Magic Power with Nancy Wilson. Dude, that's pretty killer. Yeah.
Oh no, Magic Power is Joey Belladonna. I mean, Nancy Wilson is the fight the good.
You're
fight.
right. She did fight the good fight. You're right.
I've heard both. And then D. Snyder laying it on the line.
I haven't heard that one yet.
It's pretty good, man.
Okay.
It was hard to choose which songs to put on there because it's so cool. But we got Alice Cooper's new album. We got Judas Priest's tribute to Ozzy on there. War Pigs.
Oh, if you haven't heard Judas Priest doing War Pigs, they do it. They do a phenomenal job.
They did.
It's really good. Yeah.
They just released it, finally.
Yeah. No, it's killer. And so, and then how long do these are the programming question I'm asking, Rich. How long do we leave those in there? How long do we play them? Because I know you're constantly refreshing them.
I'm constantly refreshing them. When I listen to classic guitar rock all the time. When it starts getting played out and I don't hear other songs on here, I kind of look at it and push it, kind of delete it for a while and let the other ones play for a little bit. But really, what was released earlier, and I try and keep it one page. There's about 20 to 30 songs per our set list pages that we kind of track, right? So I kind of keep it on one page. So if I like that 2 or 3, I kind of look at the older songs and get rid of them.
And there were some, and don't take this wrong. This is not a critique of Rich at all, but like I don't know if we're still playing it. We were playing the new Van Morrison tune?
No, we got rid of it. I got rid of it.
It was just really boring.
Well, yeah, it was boring.
Yeah, and
that's why I got rid of it.
Yeah. But I love that. I look forward to that every hour to hear new music that doesn't suck. And then also, Rich, he convinced me, right?
Yeah.
He said, dude, the 90s was 25 years ago, dude. We should be playing some night. So we do. I think twice an hour we play a 90s tune now. Is it twice or what? Twice an hour?
It's twice an hour. Yeah. Because look, guys, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, but we all lived through the 90s and we were older, but we probably listened to the radio because we're all fans and we're here. Yeah. But these songs come on, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you get excited to hear, oh, what's up? Because just a little hint, after the commercial, that's when the new 90s song is going to come on. So if you hear a commercial, you'll hear the 90s song.
Is that in both commercial breaks? There's a 90s tune.
On purpose.
There you go.
And one's after Name That Game or something like that. But
okay, so
you get excited when that comes on. I'm like, all right, 90s song coming up.
So two things there. There's the new music that doesn't suck. You mentioned Fogerty. It's kind of cool. John Fogerty re-recorded a lot of classic CCR songs. So,
sure did.
So if you hear this thing that says new music that doesn't suck and you hear Down on the Corner, you go, that's not a new, it's a new version.
It's a new version.
Right? A new version of.
I think they'll be able to tell because if you're everyone's heard Creedence 1,000,002 times, you'll hear the differences.
Yeah,
you'll hear it.
Sure. So that's cool. So, gosh, I don't know why we don't do this more often.
I know.
I don't know why.
We're making a commitment, and I'll try and keep Jeremy on track, guys.
I'm the problem.
He's the one that has the job. I do not anymore. By the way, if you want T-shirts, write me. That's my new thing. That's my new.
There you go.
We'll be hearing the commercial soon.
There's a totally. And you can always email the Classic Guitar Rock at mail.com. If you have a message for Rich about T-shirts, you can send it to that.
Man, I'll give you a good deal. I'll quality stuff for $10.
He makes a shirt. He does great work. If you need T-shirts made, seriously, I've been very impressed. He does a great job at it. And of course, you can support the station by buying a Classic Guitar Rock.
Yes, sir. Anyway. But anyway, I don't have a job. That's what I'm just digging into to try and keep myself busy, just to keep myself occupied. I'm retired military, by the way, so it's all good. We're having some good times and trying to figure out life after that. Life as an entrepreneur, you know. So.
Well, thanks so much, all of you, for tuning in, and it's awesome. We need to do this more often, and we will do that. So take care. Have a great weekend, and
we'll see you
next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Classic Guitar Rock Podcast.
Oh, sweetney!
Please like, subscribe, and share. You can email us at classicguitarrock@mail.com.
We're not ordinary people. We're morons.
We'll see you for the next episode of the Classic Guitar Rock Podcast.